Must try. This is how to gain the upper hand with a narcissist. Hey there, let's talk about something that many of you might relate to, dealing with constant invalidation from narcissistic individuals. It's a common trait of narcissism, the need to maintain a superior position by putting others down. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where a narcissist makes you feel like your thoughts and opinions don't matter? They can be snarky, condescending, and downright judgmental, leaving you wondering how to handle them. Well, here's the thing. You don't always have to engage deeply with them. Sometimes it's about finding the right words to convey that you're not going to be drawn into their negativity. It's about taking the high road, not stooping to their level. You can set boundaries and assert yourself without getting dragged into their drama. So, let's explore some strategies for dealing with narcissistic invalidation. And if you find these tips helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content. Let's dive in and take back control of our interactions. Now, when you're in these situations, remember 3 key things. First off, keep it short and sweet. You don't need to go on and on. Second, maintain what I call calm firmness. Stay cool, but stand your ground. And finally, no need to defend yourself. Just say your piece and move on. Let me give you some examples to make it clearer. So picture this. Sometimes narcissists come at you with what I call statement questions. They've got these judgmental thoughts, but they package them as questions. Here's one scenario. You're hanging out with a bunch of family members, and there's this one person you don't chat with much. You're talking about some fun stuff you did with your stepkids, who happen to be biracial. Then out of the blue, this relative blurts, "Are they black?" Now that's a classic statement question. It's basically saying, "I'm not cool with racial diversity." So how do you respond to that? Well, a smart move here is to throw the ball back in their court. Say something like, "Why do you feel the need to ask that?" You're basically saying, "You want to dig a hole. Be my guest. I'll just stand here and watch." Or imagine you're at some social gathering, right? You know the type? The ones who love to push their opinions onto everyone, dominating the conversation like it's their personal soapbox. No matter what you say, they're not budging an inch from their stance. They keep throwing their pushy and often clueless viewpoints your way. So, how do you handle that? Well, here's a line you can try. That's your take on it. We clearly see things differently. But brace yourself, because they'll likely come back swinging. Now let's crank it up a notch. Picture this. You're in a situation where you're just not buying what they're selling. You can practically feel them itching for you to defend your stance. They might hit you with, "Why do you think that?" Or "How did you come to that conclusion?" They're not asking out of curiosity, they're gearing up for a showdown. So, how do you shut that down? Try saying, "I don't have anything more to say on the matter." Because let's be real, they're not fishing for info. They're gearing up to drop their hammer. I'm not playing into that game. Imagine you're dealing with a narcissist who's feeling frustrated because their attempts to push their opinions onto you aren't working out. They start accusing you of being uncooperative, laying down demands and expecting you to comply. They might even hit you with something like, "You're just too stubborn to cooperate." So, what can you say to that? Try this. "Looks like we have different priorities," or "It seems we have different interpretations." That's all you need to say. Now let's say they keep coming at you with snarky remarks, trying to bait you into an argument. They might say something like, "So, you're just going to ignore me now?" Is that what you're saying? In moments like that, keep it simple. "I really don't have anything more to say. That's all there is to it." Imagine you're dealing with a narcissist who's keen on criticizing you, picking apart your actions and words over the years. They might throw out comments like, "You really messed up here," or "You didn't have a clue about what you were doing." When faced with this kind of relentless misinformation, sometimes it's best to call it quits. You might say, "Since we can't even agree on the basics, let's just end this conversation." There's no point in trying to explain yourself where they're not willing to listen. Now let's say they persist, pushing their opinions and preferences onto you. In that case, a simple response could be, "I see how important it is for you to be right. It's like giving them a little win because, honestly, you're not interested in competing. But let's take it a step further. If the narcissist starts getting nasty, resorting to name-calling and insults to assert dominance, it's time to draw a line. You can calmly say, "I need to maintain my self-respect," and then gracefully bow out of the conversation. There's no need to stoop to their level. Imagine dealing with a narcissist who loves to lay on the shame and guilt, trying to make you doubt yourself. Maybe they'll say something like, "I thought I raised you better." In response to that guilt trip, you could simply say, "Right now, being true to myself is what matters most." No need to buy into their attempt to make you feel bad about who you are. Now, let's say the narcissist keeps pushing you to go along with something you're not okay with. They want you to handle things their way, but you just don't agree. They're relentless. In that case, you might respond with, "If you keep pushing me into a corner, then I have no choice but to say no." It's a way of standing your ground without getting dragged into their power play. These examples show that you don't need to engage in their games of dominance and submission. You're keeping your cool and staying true to yourself. It's not about being passive-aggressive or snarky. It's about asserting your independence and refusing to be pulled into their manipulative traps. Think about it. Narcissists are trapped in their own messed-up way of dealing with people, and they want to drag you into their chaos. But you can just say, "Look, I'm not getting sucked into this unproductive back and forth." They won't like it. They might not even think highly of you for it. But you're keeping it short, staying firm, and not feeling the need to defend yourself. That's what I mean by taking the high road. You don't need the narcissist's approval because, let's face it, they'll never really get where you're coming from. But that's not your problem to fix. You've got your own back, and that's all that matters in your world. Now, I hope these insights provide you with practical ways to respond when faced with a narcissist's behavior. Remember, you don't have to engage in their dysfunction. If you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button. We're committed to bringing you more videos to support you on your journey. I hope the information shared here becomes a valuable resource for you when dealing with such situations. Narcissists ain't trying to drag you down, but you can choose to stand firm for dignity, respect, and civility. Before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you found this video helpful. And be sure to check out the description for a link to a free book and details on how to book a one-on-one consultation. Your support means everything to us. Like, share, subscribe, and let's continue this journey together. Thank you for being a part of our community.